Aloha, everybody. Today is January 20th, 2025, and it's an absolutely wonderful day. I've been patiently waiting for this day for the last 5 years. The planets in our solar system has finally aligned for the first time in history. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and President Trump was just sworn into office. Congratulations, President Trump. It's finally safe for me to take this affidavit of truth and share it with the world. I've never made a statement like this yet, and I've been biting my tongue for 5 years. So I, Joby Weeks, I'm a living man. I'm one of we the people, as mentioned in the Constitution, and I'm claiming whistleblower protection for what I'm about to share. Most people reading this probably don't know much about me, but I'm sure you know about Bitcoin. I was an early pioneer in the cryptocurrency movement, and I traveled to 175 countries around the world, sharing this technology with everyone I came across. I bought my first stack of Bitcoins for less than $1 to give some perspective of how long I've been going at it. I helped design the famous Bitcoin logo that practically everyone on Earth has seen, and I've helped create some of the largest Bitcoin mining data centers on Earth. Since then, I've uncovered crimes more momentous than anyone reading this could ever imagine. This is 10 times bigger than what Julian Assange with WikiLeaks and Ed Snowden exposed. I have laid out the crimes as thoroughly as possible in these documents that I've written below. Billions and billions of dollars in damages have occurred because of illegal actions of over 80 individuals that I name herein. Some very famous people are involved in the cover-up of these crimes, including politicians, judges, prosecutors, lawyers, and agents of all the three-letter agencies you've heard of. Everyone's on the take. The coordinated actions of the SEC, FBI, IRS, DOJ, the courts, and their co-conspirators demonstrate the hallmarks of a criminal enterprise, a repeated and organized pattern of fraud, extortion, and defamation, and your judicial overreach aimed at seizing assets and consolidating control over the digital asset market. This will be a great movie one day if I live long enough to make it. Note to self, I am not suicidal. How did I come across these crimes, you might be asking yourself? Completely by accident, actually. It all started out December 10th, 2019, when I was wrongfully accused of several victimless crimes and was unlawfully detained for these past 5 years. 11 months of it being bounced around the country from jail to jail to jail, and 4+ years with an ankle bracelet, imprisoned on house arrest. I harmed no people, and I broke no laws that I am subject to, yet I was still kidnapped, jailed, denied my due process, constitutional right to bail and a trial, and tortured until I feared I would be killed. They wouldn't stop the cruel and unusual punishment until I pled guilty to code violations and infractions, i.e. non-crimes, of which I wasn't even indicted for and am innocent of. After I admitted 2 + 2 = 5, I was finally granted bail. The government then commandeered my parents' home in Denver to use as a federal detention center. They told me that if I helped them catch criminals, they would tell the judge that I helped them so that I could get a light sentence for the non-crimes they forced me to admit to committing. So I went to work. It took me 4 years to uncover literally the biggest criminal syndicate in American history, documented herein. See the grand jury indictment of the federal judiciary, which I share on the website. My many bar member attorneys, whom have milked millions of dollars out of me over the years, have not helped me at all to present evidence in this case of all the crimes that are taking place in our country. This is called a misprision of a felony. Yet, that's what the government wanted me to do, help them catch criminals. I was also blocked from presenting evidence that could vindicate the res of the non-crimes that the res was accused of, so I could be free. I have thus had to take these things into my own hands and dismiss my lawyers, withdraw my plea, rescission my autograph, and blow the whistle on all the criminal activities that I've uncovered. I hereby submit the following evidence, an affidavit to clearly prove this frivolous case that these criminals within our government brought against BitClub, one of the largest Bitcoin mining operations in the world, should be dismissed immediately. That's why I'm wearing my case dismissed shirt. I demand that my property and the property of over 1 million plus members from around the world be returned, and that those who are perpetrating these crimes be brought to justice. And I hope now that Trump is in office, we can see some justice and a clear out of the DOJ. So this is what happened. My background and membership in BitClub. In August 2015, I exercised my right to contract by joining a private membership association called BitClub, which was involved in Bitcoin mining and had been up and running for 16 months prior. The club did not permit U.S. citizens to join, and their website blocked U.S. IP addresses so as to operate outside the jurisdiction of the U.S. government as a private membership association. I participated as a member, domiciled in Mexico, using my Mexican ID and citizenship and address so as to remain compliant with BitClub's KYC membership agreement. For the record, I'm not an 8 U.S.C. 1401 U.S. citizen. I'm an American national non-resident alien. If you want to look at the front page of your U.S. passport sometime, you will see that it says citizen/national. There are lots of different citizenship statuses you can choose. Just click the link if you'd like to read more about that. I've been a perpetual traveler, never spending more than a week or two in a row anywhere for 15 years prior to this ordeal. After vetting and visiting 175 countries to see which countries were the best to eventually settle down and start a family, I decided to buy a home in St. Kitts for the Citizenship by Investment program that they were offering, along with obtaining citizenship status in several other countries as well. I'm also a diplomat for an IGO, an intergovernmental organization that has treaties with 40 plus countries around the world as well. I would travel the world on my diplomatic passport. The tax forms that I was advised to file over the years were 1040NR forms, since I'm classified as a non-resident alien. Being a perpetual traveler, never staying anywhere long enough to meet the residency requirements of any jurisdiction, was a unique and different way to experience life. My mission was to go everywhere and do everything, and I was well on my way to achieving that goal. I am an outspoken lover of liberty, I'm a philanthropist, and I'm on a mission to free humanity and help create heaven on earth. When BitClub came into my life, I was intrigued. They claimed to be mining Bitcoin and had a large mining pool. A claim like that is impossible to fake because of the transparency of the blockchain. As the world can see, BitClub was telling the truth. The truth is, based on evidence that anyone can verify, that BitClub was one of the largest Bitcoin mining pools on the entire planet. They mined over 92,000 Bitcoin and over 500,000 Ethereum. And you can click the wallet addresses and verify for yourself if you'd like. Here's a little hash rate distribution that showed BitClub was top Bitcoin mining company or organization pool, mining pools they call it. 11.5% of the entire global hashing power was BitClub, and our partner BitFury was another 11%. This basically says we were making 360 Ethereum a day and 50 Bitcoins every single day. The government shutdown, I guess I should go over here. I felt comfortable being a member of BitClub when I saw the proof that they were doing what they said they were doing. At the time, they were mining an average of 50 Bitcoin a day and 360 Ethereum a day. The crypto that was mined, less the operating expenses, was distributed to the members on a daily basis. BitClub did not touch the U.S. financial system, and they did not accept dollars or fiat currency. They only traded Bitcoin for mining equipment, which the members could either take delivery of or have hosted at one of the BitClub data centers. BitClub was experiencing explosive growth. It was a unicorn, outpacing the growth of Google, Apple, and Amazon. More than 1 million people from over 100 countries joined the BitClub movement. Today, that number would be in the tens of millions had it not been for the illegal government intervention. Number 2, my due diligence and contributions. As part of my due diligence, I traveled to Iceland to verify the operations of BitClub's mining facility. I verified the claims made by the founders and saw that everything was on the blockchain visible for the world to see. It can't be hidden or faked. The blockchain is a record of truth. In my interactions with the BitClub founders, I made a connection with a company called BitFury, a competitor of Bitmain, which helped BitClub secure mining equipment at a better price, saving BitClub members approximately 3,000 Bitcoin. Additionally, I found better power sources, saving BitClub members at least $2,000, 2,000 Bitcoins annually off the power bill. I helped them build the biggest Bitcoin mine on earth at the time. Number 3, advocacy for Bitcoin. I became an advocate for Bitcoin and its distributed ledger of truth. I traveled to over 175 countries to promote its adoption. I gave away thousands of Bitcoin and helped countless people set up wallets, believing in the potential of Bitcoin to solve global issues. The popularity of Bitcoin soared, making it one of the most valuable assets on earth, which validated my belief in the technology. Unfortunately, I became a target of hackers and thieves and had thousands of Bitcoins stolen from me. Number 4, involvement with the U.S. authorities. In 2019, the U.S. government initiated a secret investigation into BitClub. I found out about the investigation and reached out voluntarily to meet with the government agents to provide information about the operations of BitClub, the hackers attacking its members, the fake BitClub websites that were popping up scamming people, and how the government can prevent further harm to Bitcoin users in general. Despite offering to help identify and capture cyber criminals that give Bitcoin a bad reputation, the agents were uninterested. During this time, I continued to believe in the integrity of BitClub and its founders, who had shown transparency and a commitment to doing the right thing. Number 5, arrest and legal proceedings. On December 10th, 2019, I was arrested and falsely charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to sell unregistered securities related to BitClub activities. I had no knowledge that anything illegal was occurring. I was not involved in the management, creation, or operations of BitClub, which was a foreign private membership association. I had no criminal intent to defraud or harm anyone, and the government doesn't allege that my actions created any victims. I've never had a chance to face my accuser. I was just a vendor sourcing computer equipment for the club and a happy member. The physical computer equipment that I sourced for BitClub is a product and not a security, which, because it didn't generate money, Bitcoin isn't money. The prosecution's false allegations of BitClub being a $700 million Ponzi scam does not account for the fact that BitClub had actually mined for its members close to 100,000 Bitcoins. Did the prosecution team forget that every Satoshi can be tracked on the blockchain for the world to see? Number 6, unlawful government intervention and harm to victims. The government shutdown of BitClub led to a loss of tens of thousands of Bitcoins, both for myself and for the members. Since the government's actions, BitClub members, including myself, have not been able to access our accounts or recover our Bitcoin. I am one of the victims in this case, not a perpetrator. The government's unlawful intervention in this private membership association, which did not involve the U.S. financial system or money, has caused irreparable harm to 1 million plus victims, including myself. Based on my extensive studying of the law, the government had no jurisdiction to get involved since BitClub was not using money or selling securities or even a regulated company for that matter. If you read the defective indictment against the res/trust, you will notice that Joby Weeks is mentioned only twice, and both times it's an email of me asking the owners of the club to do the right thing and never the wrong or illegal thing. My lawyers asked, how does someone get indicted for doing that? I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. Number 7, injustice, due process violations, and personal hardship. I was denied bail. I was denied a trial, subjected to prolonged unlawful imprisonment, and forced, with the threat of death, to admit to crimes I did not commit under duress. I have lost my family, my stellar reputation, my assets, and my rights without due process, including my Second Amendment right to defend myself, even though I harmed no one. The government's actions have caused irreparable harm to me and the million-plus other Bitcoin members from around the world who are victims of their unlawful intervention, illegally trying to claim worldwide jurisdiction and crush the cryptocurrency movement. The government has attempted to paint me as a criminal, but I am not one. I have always acted in good faith, and I did not break any laws that I am subject to or harm any people. My name has been slandered globally and my wealth plundered. Number 8, justification for a countersuit. At the time of my kidnapping, BitClub was mining around 50 Bitcoins a day. The government shut down the club 1,800 days ago. That's a loss to its members due to illegal government intervention of at least 90,000 Bitcoins. They were also mining 360 Ethereum a day. That loss times 1,800 days is 650,000 Ethereum. There is also precedent that the government must pay $75,000 an hour for illegal detainment, false arrest, and kidnapping, i.e. violation of due process. That equates to another $3.5 billion over the last 1,800 days. See Trezevan versus the city of Tampa, if you'd like to know the precedent. Thus, since the government hasn't given any of the Bitcoin that they stole back to the million-plus BitClub members or myself after more than 5 years, would I not be justifiably forced to bring forth this counterclaim that's a multi-billion-dollar counterclaim suit against the government to make the BitClub members and myself whole? I'm still on house arrest 5 years later. I've never been convicted of or sentenced for a crime, and I should not be. What they have done is so wrong. If the government had any evidence of any wrongdoing on my part, they would have taken us to trial and convicted us years ago. The weaponization of the DOJ and the lawfare against freedom-loving people who don't want to be CBDC social credit score slaves like the unfortunate folks in China and elsewhere, it must stop. This is the biggest Bitcoin case in the world, and it's important to right this wrong that's taken place. The coordinated actions of the SEC, FBI, IRS, DOJ, the courts and their co-conspirators do demonstrate the hallmarks of a criminal enterprise, a repeated and organized pattern of fraud, extortion, defamation, and jurisdictional overreach aimed at seizing assets and consolidating control over the digital asset marketplace. Every American should read the supporting documents below to understand what has been truly taking place. Let me show you some of them. Document number 1 is a short but sweet affidavit for the folks that are following this BitClub case. I've never spoken on the record of what actually took place with evidence. As a witness, I give a quick recap of the facts for the record, and you see I did nothing wrong, I harmed no people, I didn't break any laws that I was subject to. You will agree that this case should be dismissed long ago. And then I bring about the evidence. So this is the evidence section, which is pretty good. A couple pages, not too thick. Necessary to back my claims. And then I've got this constructive notice. This one's fascinating. I show all the bonds that are being traded on this court case. I point out the discharge indemnification bond the Treasury has been trading. And then I list the name of the accused, who are the people who have trespassed against myself, my property, my rights, and the million-plus other BitClub members who were harmed because of their illegal government intervention. This is page after page, from the judges to the prosecutors, to the lawyers, to the IRS agents, to the FBI agents, over 80 people involved in this RICO case. Here's what I write. Notice, all parties on this list are accused of violating the rights of Joby Sinclair of the family Weeks, me, also known as Joby Sinclair Weeks, one of the people as seen in the Constitution. The accusations against you, the accused, on this list, expressed within an affidavit hereto attached, including to the conspiracy to these various crimes and offenses, failing to uphold your oath you took to the U.S. and state constitutions and warring against it. Breach of trust, attacking a beneficiary of a constructive trust you were unlawfully administrating. Breach of your fiduciary duties. Invalid and unlawful warrants issued, resulting in a false arrest, and unlawful search and seizures absent probable cause, not supported by oath or affirmation, in blatant violation of the Constitution, fraudulent charges predicated on unsworn petitions by prosecuting attorneys, deprivation of rights for a trial by jury, confiscation and theft of property without due process of law, physical, mental, and psychological torture, denial of bail for a non-capital offense, denial of a speedy trial, coercion to accept a plea bargain under circumstances of torture, and 11 months of unlawful incarceration without a trial, and without the right to face my accusers, cruel and unusual punishment, crimes against humanity, unlawful conversion of me into a person which is a fictitious entity, human trafficking, and treason. You have the opportunity to rebut all these accusations and charges against you stated within the affidavit of this court of record. Your response and rebuttals must be sent to my notary witness. You guys are all served. What else do I have on this list? Well, I had to, unfortunately, let my attorneys go. This is a great one. Let me read this. You're fired. Have you ever been screwed by attorneys for millions of dollars like I have? If so, then you're going to enjoy reading this. I need to put it on the record that I'm dismissing my attorneys. Most bar attorneys are compartmentalized. Most were never actually taught the law or the Constitution. They only know the statutes and codes and legislative administrative procedures. Just like medical doctors don't know how to cure any diseases, all they know is how to give you big pharma drugs that only go to treat symptoms instead of fixing the root cause of why you're sick in the first place. You can't trust allopathic doctors, and you can't trust 99% of the bar attorneys either when it comes to protecting your constitutional rights. You will understand a little bit more about why this case should be dismissed immediately and why I was forced to do this on my own. This is great. You'll like that. I then also wrote this wonderful, it's a little bit of everything. It's an affidavit, introduction of new evidence, challenge of jurisdiction, rescission of my autograph, making the plea agreement that I did under duress void, a counterclaim, the invoice, writ of quo warranto, the demand to dismiss me from this case. If you're into law, you'll love this. It took me 5 hours a day for 3 months to write this. I read like 30,000 pages of law to understand all this. You'll find it a work of art. I bring up a lot of third rail issues. However, my attorneys refused to file it on the docket, so now I have to do it myself. Document 5, multi-billion-dollar counterclaim. I don't really need to. Well, I guess I could just read it. If the judge, after reading the above documents, does not do the right thing and does not dismiss this case, then that triggers this suit where I get a judgment in equity that I will bring, since I have standing, since they came after me to begin with. It's a counterclaim. I'll bring it to the United States Court of Federal Claims on behalf of myself and the million-plus Big Club members, victims of illegal government intervention under 28 U.S.C. 1491, the Tuckers Act, 18 U.S.C. 1961, the RICO Act, Sherman Antitrust Act, 18 U.S.C. 1201, kidnapping, the Hobbs Act, and many others. This is the biggest Bitcoin case. It's really David versus Goliath. Remember when Jesus flipped the tables of the money changers in the temple? Well, I'm flipping the tables now too. This makes me the plaintiff and everyone else who's been harassing me and persecuting me for 5 years, the defendants. Everyone involved must recuse themselves and lawyer up. This puts a stay/injunction on the proceedings until my claims and challenges are answered. I add a temporary restraining order to block their funding until we get the courts back in order. The government will not and cannot answer my challenges. The fraud they are trying to pull off is clear for anyone who reads these documents. The remedy will be glorious, and with God's help, the republic restored. I also have a stack of evidence that just backs up all my claims. Letter to the Supreme Court, some habeas corpus, just in case they try to kidnap me again. This is the claim that I'm bringing. It's kind of thick, but if you want some good reading, you can see all the people listed and named here, the accused list, and you can see that I'm bringing this counterclaim for $22.2 billion. And this is a very justifiable number. You can go down to page 159 and read how it's broken down. But this is a counterclaim of $22.2 billion for them killing our multi-billion-dollar project. In fact, we were one of the fastest organizations in the world to hit $1 billion in sales. We hit $1 billion faster than Amazon, Google, any company out there. You name the company. Not valuation or market cap, but actual sales. This is the temporary restraining order, an injunction to block federal funding to the agencies. These are all the agencies that I'm going after to block their funding. They're all out of order. I sent these out to the judges to recuse the judges. It's called a demand to strike from the record these various things, and basically sanctioning the judges and the lawyers that are involved in this case. This one's gone out to the judges, the lawyers, along with other legal notices, etc. This is a big thing. It's I feel it's important that somebody stands up and fights this injustice. I know that we've got a change that's taken place today, and we've got a new Justice Department, and Trump says that, hey, the lawfare is going to end, and he wants to have Bitcoin made in America. So I'm here to support that effort. I appreciate you guys thinking about me and praying for me as I fight this fight. And I'm just it's kind of nerve-wracking, but I'm going for case dismissed, and I appreciate you guys looking over this stuff. Join our mailing list here if you want to stay updated with what's going on within this court, but this week is a big week. And so God bless you guys. God bless America, and have a wonderful 2025.